about the this thing, psychological aspects of the contact dermatitis patient. So, without wasting any time, quickly I'll invite Dr. Ravindra Rao. Dr. Ravindra Rao, he is the chief interventional cardiologist of angioplasty and expert in structural heart disease and expert in complex angioplasty. He is really an expert throughout the country. He is a son of the soil, and I have seen is from SMS, of course, initially from this thing, and his MD DM cardiology, and then he got training in the Washington University School of Medicine. So, Dr. Ravindra Rao, you please come and let us tell what metals you are introducing one by one, and what are their side effects.
Thank you very much, sir. At the outset, I would like to congratulate Dr. Dinesh Mathur, sir, for organizing such a fantastic conference. And also, thank you all the delegates and faculty and esteemed doctors and panelists who took time and made this conference a success. Definitely in the era of COVID, it's a challenge to organize a physical conference, but congratulations, sir, for the hybrid meeting. Sir wanted me to speak on metals in the heart. And my disclosure is that I am a cardiologist and I am a misfit in the crowd. But let me try to show some relevant slides. So I'm just going to give you an overview that what all types of metals are inserted inside the heart and the blood vessels. Here is just an example. If you look at the metals which are there in the heart, you see these wires which are there after the post-bypass or a post-open heart surgery. Then this is an example. I'm replacing a mitral valve without open heart surgery. It's called a transcatheter mitral valve replacement. It's called a transcatheter mitral valve replacement, where we would go from a femoral vein without any open heart surgery, without any cutting, and we would put a new valve inside the old valve. So you see there's already metal there, and then on top of it, there's another metal. These are just some videos. I'm not going to go into too much of detail. But here's an example where I've replaced the valve and now I'm closing the atrial septum defect, again with an ASD device. So you see, again, there is a metal in the interatrial septum, and this is the mitral valve in this particular patient, and this is how it looks like on a 3D transesophageal echo. So again, and these are the videos. So again, you see this patient has so much of metal. There is a transesophageal echo. We go from the femoral vein, put the new valve inside the previously implanted ring. This is the first case in the South Asia where a mitral valve has been replaced inside the ring, surgically implanted ring. And this is how it looks like on a 3D transesophageal echo. You would see the metallic frame, and inside this there will be tissue leaflets. What about aortic valve replacement? Again, you would see here is an aortic valve which is replaced without open heart surgery. We would go from the femoral artery and we would implant the valve inside the native severe aortic stenosis. So, lot of metal. I'm going to go and describe this metal also in the end. And here's another example of a patient in whom we are replacing the aortic valve without any surgery. Again, you see so much of metal, right? Gradually this metal gets endothelized and the leaflets are left to function with. So this is how the aortic valve replacement looks like without open heart surgery. And here you would see in this patient, he already has a mitral valve which is a metallic valve, and now I'm replacing an aortic valve again without open heart surgery, which is called transcatheter aortic valve replacement. And you can see so much of metal inside the heart in direct contact with the blood. But this is the beauty of the procedure. We do the TAVI, and this is how the patient looks like in the evening, sitting in the bed having his dinner. Nobody can imagine the valve has been replaced, and patient talks and walks the very next day. Sometimes we would do an angioplasty and a valve replacement in the same sitting. This is the smallest. There's no incision at all, and this is how we would go from the femoral artery and replace the aortic valve. This is a tricuspid valve being replaced, and this is a very elderly patient, 93-year-old. We did an aortic valve replacement without open heart surgery, and patient walks very next day. This is the print with the permission from the patient. To highlight this, sometimes age is just a number. If a patient is an active person, mobile, doing all his daily activities, mentally fully alert, we don't have any right that we should not treat such a patient. This is a slide of a mitral valve repair without open heart surgery. These are the two clips which we will keep inside the heart, and the mitral valve replacement has been done. I just copied this slide from internet. Here is a heart with 67 stents, published in Journal of American College of Cardiology. So you see metals everywhere. This is an ICD lead. And this slide is also to break the myth, you cannot have more than 3 stents, nothing like that. So there is a stent with 67 heart, published in Journal of American College of Cardiology. All his bypass grafts were occluded, so stents in bypass, stents in all the artery, and an ICD lead. This is the heart where I've replaced double valve. This was the country's first transcatheter double valve replacement, again without open heart surgery, and this is how these metals look inside the heart. So here's again, we would repair an aneurysm without surgery. This is the metal inside the abdominal aorta for an abdominal aortic aneurysm. So you must be wondering how a patient behaves to all these metals, and that's where we need your input. So points to ponder. Can such a metal inside the heart cause allergic contact dermatitis? Nickel is the most common metal allergen, and all our stents, they contain cobalt, nickel, and molybdenum. Now, nitinol stent, the stent which you saw for the abdominal aortic aneurysm and for the aorta, contains 55% titanium and 45% nickel. You know, when sir asked me to speak on it, I was wondering, sir, main kya karunga? This will be such an irrelevant talk. And then I started reading about it. I was surprised to know there are case reports where a stent has to be removed just because patient developed severe dermatitis. So I was of the opinion contact dermatitis means that metal should touch your skin, but not anymore. So we do these ASD, VSD device closures. Without surgery, it contains nitinol. Again, there are anecdotal reports that this can also cause contact dermatitis. So, you know, the points to discuss, and maybe you all can educate us, that we never thought of this any problem, that the skin can be infected by such things.
We can always do a patch testing and tell you that whether he is allergic to nickel or cobalt or not. And then probably we can, that is one thing which came instant in my mind.
But I'm surprised nowhere in the world is doing this, but that's a very good point.
No, but we can do it.
Yeah.
Let us be
Yeah, we can start that. So thank you very much for the kind attention, and thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity.
Thank you very much.
I
Thanks
just wanted to lay some, platform to discuss about metals in the heart.
So from next time onwards, whenever you do a metal surgery, just take 3 days with us.